Welcome, welcome, welcome once again to Universal Month. So, I decided to take a look at a sort of spooky horror film, more of a ghost story. And that is Michael J. Fox in The Frighteners. Yes, I'm tackling The Frighteners from 1996. This movie was a blast. This movie I remember a lot being on local cable back in the day. They played this on Stars every Halloween. Every Halloween from I think 97 on would play this film. Because I remember coming back, I think it was roughly around 2000, maybe 2000. They played this on Stars in 2000. And I had this recorded on cable. That's how I first saw it, was on recorded VHS that my folks recorded. My parents will let me watch this film. I may have been about, I want to say 7 when I saw this movie on Stars. So I was really little. And they thought at first, this is a PG-13 film. I want to stress this out. This is not a PG-13 film. This is a hard R-rated adult film from director Peter Jackson. Yes, the man who would go on to make the Lord of the Rings films and a tons of other movies. This was a lot of fun. He would go on to make King Kong. In fact, a director's cut was released in 2005 to coincide the release of King Kong. Yeah, King Kong was coming out that year when they put out a director's cut. This movie is really good. So, talk about the plot. Michael J. Fox plays Frank Bannister. He's sort of a Ghostbuster, but he's also sort of a con man. So he's paranormal and finds the paranormal. He meets this woman played by Trini Avalon, who will go on to star in the film Polly, but was in a Universal film previous to this, 1992's The Babe. So basically, yeah. This was also produced by Robert Zemeckis. So, yeah. In addition to that, we also cast includes, as I said, Michael J. Fox, Trini Avalon, Peter Dobson, John Ashton, D. Wallace Stone, Jeffrey Combs, Jake Busey, who I gotta easily say is the most chilling performance I've ever seen from an actor, and Chi McBride. The standout in this is Michael J. Fox. He plays it sort of cool. Now, keep in mind, his acting kind of stumbled a little bit, but that's because at the time, this was also, he was still suffering from Parkinson's disease. But, as I said in my review of Back to the Future Part 3, you can't really fault the actor. I mean, there are some moments where he's yeah, that kind of thing. I'm not going to do that, but he's like talking in that weird mumbling voice. I don't want to fault that. It's just, again, if you just ignore how to explain this. Focus on the actor and not the actor with the disability, because no matter what, he is really good in this movie. So I can't really fault him. Yes, I know at times he can do that. But yeah, as I said before, it's Parkinson's. So yeah, he's going to stumble. But anyways, aside from that, this movie is still a lot of fun. The special effects are a little bit goofy and a little bit cheesy, but that's the charm about these mid-90s films. Right around 96, 97, they were still focusing on trying to get these special effects game. I will say some moments there are some cheesy effects. Basically, it begins with him. It begins with the house being haunted, and turns out that there's something in that wall. Turns out it's, well, the Grim Reaper. And they have to hire this guy who's, like I said, he's a paranormal guy. He discovers ghosts and whatnot. So he'll look at what it is, and he'll find out the house has been invaded with ghosts. So, middle of the film, he has these are his two buddies right here. So in the middle of the film, he gets help with these two other guys who are basically ghosts. But he's trying to find out about this. So the police eventually arrest him, and he has to try to find out. There's a really cool scene where we're at the museum, and the cops find out that midway beginning the film, there are like numbers on top. It's like number 11, number 12, number 24, so on. Written on their forehead because that's the next person to basically get killed. So he basically has to find out what this is. So he doesn't know what this is. So he's just trying to find out what this is. We don't know what it is. He's the only one that can see the ghost. So basically the two guys right here, as I said, these two guys, they go into a house and sees 3 infants. So they're picking up the infants and they're flying away, but the mother and the maid are all freaked out. So Trini Avelin's character has to go into this house before and find out what's going on. So it turns out that midway through, the Grim Reaper comes. So he comes into the museum and he comes after one person. So he tries to save this woman's life by basically just knocking her out, picking her up and saying, "Sorry guys, I have to go." So he drives the Volkswagen there, and while the Grim Reaper's just slicing and dicing for the car, it's crazy. But I think the effects on the Grim Reaper are really good. I have a really cool VHS, but unfortunately I'm not going to dig that out. But essentially that VHS was in the same artwork. But like I said, this movie is a ton of fun. So John Ashton plays the judge. He's basically sort of an outlaw. He's basically fires around, and he's one that stops the Grim Reaper. So the ghost of anyone wants to know the Grim Reaper, so he has to find out. So he goes into this place. He's thinking, well, I'm going to kill myself to find out. So, but they realize they have to put some sterile in him, to inject some sterile, and put him in the freezer so he can basically die of hyperthermia. So basically, he's now a ghost, and he's flying around. So he meets up with Arlie Ermy, who basically is just his Gunny Sergeant Hartman character. If the Gunny was killed and became a ghost. Essentially, that's what the filmmakers were trying to do. The lines he recites are ripped right out of Full Metal Jacket, and it's just so cool. The movie, like I said, is a ton of fun. So, how to explain what else it is? I'm trying not to really give away the film, and I'm also trying to give my input with the film, give my thoughts. So Jake Busey, later on they meet Jake Busey, who's basically a serial killer. He's basically, it turns out, and I'm not going to give away this, but I'm going to tell you that the Grim Reaper becomes Jake Busey's character, who is basically, I forget his character's name, but he's actually modeled after Charles, I think it's Stockhouse? Charles Stockhouse he's modeled after, but combined with Charles, was it Charles Whitman? The one that shot all those people in Austin, Texas, the University of Austin. So, yeah. So, essentially, that's what he is modeled after. And I'll show in the back right here. Right there is Jake Busey's character in the Frighteners. And he is by far the most chilling character. Yes, he is a psychotic monster. And he's just crazy. Just bat crap crazy. So, he has a girlfriend. So, basically, him and Frank Bannister. Yeah, Bannister, and I still cannot think of what her name is. Hang on, I'm going to resort to Wikipedia. That's where I get most of my information, was Wikipedia. The Frighteners. Hopefully I spelled this right. F-I... Frighteners. Let's see. Frighteners. Okay, Frighteners. Frighteners was released to theaters in July 19, July 19th, 1996. That's when the film was released. And I'm just going to tell you between budget and box office. The budget was $26 million, the box office $29.3, so it passed its budget. So, Trini Avlin plays Lucy Linnenstein? Yeah, Lucy Linnenstein. Yeah, it's actually modeled after the one star in Heavenly Creatures. This movie is modeled after Peter Jackson's 1994 film Heavenly Creatures, which also had that style. So, like I said again, he meets up with another psychotic FBI agent, Milton Demers. I think that's who his name is, Milton Demers. Trying to see, yeah, that's right, yeah. Oh, Jake Busey plays Johnny Bartlett. Yeah, Johnny Bartlett's Jake Busey's character, and he's a mass murderer. He's basically, like I said, of those things, and yeah, he's a psychotic monster though. But the ending is where it gets totally crazy. So he has a girlfriend. I'm trying to think of what the girlfriend's name was. Probably blanking on the girl's name. Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, she basically, in the middle of the film, both of them are running in the haunted house where it happens, and she basically is loaded with a shotgun and has a built-in flashlight. Basically, flashlight taped on the shotgun. So she's just blasting away, and it's just crazy. She's like, yeah! She's like, she'll do that giggle and laugh like most of those psychotic people would do. She'll just giggle and laugh, giggle and laugh, giggle and laugh. And it's just crazy. The whole movie is just insane. So, I don't know what else to say about this film other than a fun movie, though. So, like I said again, and if you haven't seen, that's what he looks like on Ghost. So, that's him as a ghost. I don't know if you can see that right there. And that's him as not a ghost. But I will say the best part of the movie is Michael J. Fox and Jake Busey. I will say the scene steal the whole thing is probably Jake Busey, because he's just like the craziest. His character is just insanely crazy. But I think Michael J. Fox, this is probably one of his more underrated roles. This is a movie I watched tons of times on cable, and my folks were fine with me watching it. They thought this movie was a PG-13 film until we got the DVD. I told them, well, I was right all this long, R. It's a hard R-rated film. There's no F words, no nudity, just the terror and violence, and a few swear words. But nothing like bad, like nudity or the F word. I didn't spot a single F word in this film. If this probably was toned down, maybe if they would toned the violence down and the gore, this probably would have got an easy PG-13 film. Easily would have got PG-13. I think with data effects, it feels more like a PG-13 film. But I could see this. You know, I don't know. I have that eerie feeling Jordan Peele might remake this film, because Jordan Peele's been like tackling remakes. He has an upcoming remake to Candyman or something like that. But with the success of his films like Get Out and Us, which I will be covering Us this year, so you're going to want to stick around for that. So, yeah. In terms of anything, this is definitely something to check out. So, what else can I say about this film? I guess I'll go through development, though. Apparently, development of the Frighteners was actually developed in 1992. So, and yeah. And I think what I've read here, that they hired Michael J. Fox for the role because he must have went to a film festival and saw Heavenly Creatures and was just amazed and thought it would be great working. Apparently, this is kind of weird because I watched the film, but I must have missed Peter Jackson's cameo, because Peter Jackson does appear in this. He's the guy that Michael J. Fox's character bumps into, and he looks around. I must have missed that because I've seen this before It's very quick, so if you do decide to watch this, be on the lookout for the Peter Jackson cameo. And yeah, apparently there are so many. Yeah, Zemeckis actually, well, full-length screenplay was 93. The production was first. It was in principal production in 1995, but this movie got, like I said, it was May 1996. It's actually filmed in New Zealand. Most Peter Jackson films have always been filmed in New Zealand. This one was. So I think I'm going to leave it there. Oh, and Jackson's company, Whedon Digital. Yeah, Whedon Digital actually did the special effects for this film. Yeah. Whedon Digital did a lot of special effects. Yeah, so Whedon Digital actually did the... Yeah. I think that's all I'm going to say about this. Huh. That's weird. Whedon Digital did the special effects for Alvin Chipmunk's Roadshow. Did they do the first one? No. No, actually they didn't. But they did Whedon Digital, which is... Yeah, actually, yeah, this was Peter Jackson's company, Whedon Digital. They did the Lord of the Rings. They did stuff for iRobot. Yeah, Whedon Digital. They did a lot of movies, though. Deadpool. I'm just kind of looking at the bio, though. So I'm probably going off topic. There's a remake for that movie. Yeah, that was Whedon Digital. It was Peter Jackson's company that did the effects. This might have been their first. No, Heavenly Creatures was the first film to use technology, and Frighteners would have been their second. So the special effects was done by his company, Whedon Digital. Yeah. Yeah, so Universal, yeah, as it says here, though, his dedicated script, yeah, because Zemeckis had mixed connections with Universal, because they made Back to the Future series. Zemeckis had mixed connections with Universal. So, yeah. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it, though. Not going to give away the ending, but the effects are pretty good. Like I said, I was surprised at Whedon Digital because they did a lot of effects. So that's all I'm going to say. So it's time for the final verdict. Should you see The Frighteners? And sure, I would say yes. This is a fun movie. If you like Michael J. Fox and you want to see him do a different kind of role than all his previous films, but like I said again, if you can ignore with some of the stumbling lines, and yeah, he does stumble on some lines, but as I said before, I'm not faulting the actor for this. It's a great performance. It's a good performance. As I said with Back to the Future Part 3, Parkinson's did come up to him though. So you can definitely tell. But at good moments he doesn't. It's just few moments he can stumble lines, but just focus of the actor as an actor and don't worry about, and if an actor is disabled or has disabilities, ignore that and watch the actor act. That is his job. His job is to entertain you. And that's what Frighteners did to me. It entertained me very much. But like I said again, check this film out. It is a ton of fun. The effects are really good. The acting is good. Is there any negatives I can easily say with this film? I would say its special effects kind of did drag a little bit. There are certain special effects that I felt were a little bit too inconsistent. I felt they got a little too heavy. Because if you watch a film like Mystery Men, I felt that movie almost was killed by special effects. But Snow Mummy Returns, that is nominated for worst special effects in a film. This movie, compared to Mummy Returns, it makes The Frighteners look gold. And I'm surprised it didn't get any Oscar nominations. I could have seen Michael J. Fox get an Oscar nod for this. Maybe special effects would have got him the Oscar. But who knows? If you like Michael J. Fox or you like any of these actors in the film, check this movie out. Definitely worth sitting through. And I could see this as a title that Scream Factory could put out. I know Error Video's putting out a 4K of this, so we could probably see somebody like Scream tackle this film. Or hey, Kino Lorber can put this out. Kino Lorber hasn't put out much. They've been releasing a lot of Universal films in the Universal catalog onto Blu-ray. And I feel this movie deserves a Blu-ray. And yeah, it is on Blu-ray, the 2011. There is a director's cut release. I almost want to get that. Get the director's cut, which also includes the actual cut, just to have some bonus features. But who knows? This movie is good. Now, before I end the video, you did get one special feature, and that's a theatrical trailer. So this release is probably an old release. I guess I can tell you how old this is. This is actually dated from 1998. During the era of Universal Blu-rays. Look at that. I do kind of like the clear disc with the bold Frighteners logo on it. So I do kind of like that. And yeah. There was, interesting enough, on the 1941 DVD, if you look on the back, there was actually an old collector's edition, but I guess they canceled that. I guess that collector's edition was never made. So instead, for DVD, we opted with this. I got this many years ago. I got this around, I think I got it in 2005 at my local Walmart. And I was like, frick, Frighteners. And I didn't watch it for so long because it was just scary. The last time I watched this film was probably in 2005. So I have not touched this DVD since 2005. And I wanted to cover this for Universal Month because I wanted to watch another film, Michael J. Fox. I don't have any other films aside from the Back to the Future movies. I don't have too many Michael J. Fox films. Although I do want to get Secret Life of My Success. The Secret of My Success. I was close to picking that up. I passed. Hard Way is another one I want to check out. Greedy, For Love or Money. So lots of Universal Michael J. Fox films I do want to watch. But sadly, that's it. I'm not going to say much about it, but I'm just going to stop there. So I'm just rambling. That's my review of Frighteners. What'd you guys think of this movie? Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? Let me know what you think about this film. I'd love to hear your guys' input on this. But yeah. Okay. I'm gonna let some news and sort of the elephant in the room. We're almost close to the tail end of the month. So I'm only going to be doing one review. Just doing two movies just takes up so much time. I got other things to do. I don't really have that much time to do both things at once. And me, I'm kind of both. I'm for watching movies and playing video games. So it doesn't really matter. I kind of want to get back to playing some video games. So I'm going to make the announcement. When we get to May, I won't be doing as many videos. But I will still continue doing Universal Month throughout May. I'm just not gonna post anything off. After May's over, that's it. You're gonna have to wait until 2022 for me to cover another film. So I wanted to let the elephant in the room. I kind of wanted to let you guys know. But like I said again, don't worry. I got another video coming out tomorrow. This one's probably gonna be fun. I got a review gonna get posted up after this. Plus this review after that. We'll see. So, thank you guys for watching. I'm out. See you guys tomorrow with another review of something else. Not really sure. Take care.